Welcome back, everybody, to Orthodox Review, the most uneducated educational program here on the internet today. I'm your host, the guy with 1.5 thumbs. And well, look at the size of this thing. First of all, got to address a few things. Why am I talking so loud? Well, I got an extension for the microphone. I still want to make sure you can hear me clearly. No mumbling about. And two, I have to stand up for this one. Just to give you an idea of how big this Bible is. That's my hand. I'm 6'2". I've got huge hands. This is a massive Bible. This, as some of you may or may not know, is a Haydock Bible. This particular one being from 1882. It was given to the show by my dear friend Christopher. And I have had just such a good time looking into the history of this Bible, not only of the notes, but the publications of this Bible. So check this out. Quick history. George Leo Haydock was a priest. He was a recusant from Lancashire. He had a couple brothers, a couple sisters. His sister Margaret was a nun. His brother Thomas was a publisher, which published the first edition, and his other brother James was a priest who died of consumption while serving his sick parish. So old Leo, as he went by, started attending the English college at Dewey at the age of 11, and then him and his buddies skipped out during the Revolution by pretending they were poor kids fishing. So that's pretty based. He was there through the penal laws, the Catholic Relief Act of 1791, and its final repeal in 1829. He served mostly a small parish in Ugthrope, Ughtrope, Ugthrope. So anyway, and then the commentary that he wrote, that this edition is famous for, was written as a response to Protestants. You really want to get into post penal law England. It's a long and sordid tale, but the Protestants, they had the King James, they were espousing all sorts of nonsense, and then he comes along, and even though it's Roman Catholic, it's a heck of a lot closer to orthodoxy in the way he was refuting them. So that's where the notes come from. The original printing, which doesn't look too dissimilar from this, it's from 1811, 1812, 1813, and 1823, with first editions printed anywhere from Manchester to Dublin, and that was from his brother's printing press. There were 1,500 produced in the first edition. Now the first American edition, that's what we're looking at, because these were printed from 1823 to 1825. They were mass marketed through Montgomery Ward, which some of my older viewers might remember Montgomery Ward as kind of a department store sort of thing, but much like Sears and everything else, it started off as a mail order, and these were mass produced. That's why there's so many of them on the market in varying states of preservation or decay. This one, not the prettiest one in the world. It's missing a latch. I can't even get this all on camera. So there's one latch, the other one not there, but you know what? Whatever. I got one. So anyway, so Montgomery Ward did the mass editions circa 1853 until 1853, excuse me. And so that's kind of the loose nuts on that one. Now let's bust this puppy open. Now you find these on the market. They're not hard to find. There's tons of them out there. Now depending on the condition it's in, yeah, that's right. I turned a page. Where did I put that price list at? It's over here somewhere. Whatever. I think like an edition like this is going to run you anywhere between $75 and $1.50. whereas a really good condition is going to run you somewhere in the 2,500 range. So, they're out there. You can Google it. You can Google. Well, we're going to actually take a look at the internet in just a moment. But first, let's crack her open. Now, this one had one, maybe two owners. Now, Penny B. I can't read that kind of shorthand. But the previous owner was Barbara Sword, who received communion on May 15th, 1898. And so that's her. And there's other treasures in this volume. Of course, you could see the dry. They tried to repair it, but so this is an old flippin' Bible. You could see how in here. I mean, that is that's some string. Anyway, there's like hair clippings in here. Oh, don't worry, it gets better. So you have your presentation page, which this is, there's hair. I don't know if someone's tonsured or it's baby hair or what, I don't know. But this is embossed. This is not, like back then you didn't have cheap laser printers. Everything was based 1880, and then you could write in the number. And then, so here, and you've got a lot of pages. By the way, this paper stock is amazing. Now, back in the day, again, you didn't have fancy printers like you do now. Everything was inked. And so you would have these pages in between to protect the art from rubbing off on each other. Raphael. So right off the bat, you're looking at something beautiful here. Kind of like the family Bibles you used to be able to get. You can still get them, but just not this quality. Now here is where we're going to start consulting the internet, because you have this title page. Now, here's where I have to admit to a little slack. And oh boy, yeah, I found a web page that had scans of all these title pages, because all the title pages for every edition through like the first 100 years looked like this, and the only thing that would change is who it was printed by right there. So here, check this out. So I just had to reposition the microphone. So let's take a look at the interwebs. Now, here, I just did a Google search on Haydock Bible title page. All these title pages you see here, click on any given one of them. Baird and Dillon. I've got a Duffy and Murphy from Dayton, Ohio, but this is Baird and Dillon in New York, Park Place. Go ahead, let's pick another one. C.R. Parrish and Company. Let's pick another one. They're all the same, right? Here we go. There's the Baird and Dillon again. Let's pick another one. Let's see. Here, how about this one? P.J. Kennedy. So all these title pages were the same. The entire Bible printed the same. Plenty of pictures of the very edition that I have. Here's an 1884. Here's I don't know. A lot of them are 1884, but technically they're 1882. Shh, don't tell anyone. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of them on the market. So let's get into a little bit more of the minutia of it all. But first, If you're not already subscribed, please do so now. Hit that like button, because, you know, that's a cool thing. It's a party over here, folks. It's a party. That's what we do. We party with Bibles, okay? So go ahead, clickety-clack, don't look back. Here we go. Right. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway. All right, so let's get in. Dedication page. Entered according to the Act of Congress in the year 1880 by J.R. Jones in the office of the Librarian of Congress. Entered into Act of Congress in 1882 by J.R. Jones. So there you go. That's why anytime someone tells you 1884, there's Okay. So let's go back to the title page quick, because I do need to make a few things. A lot of people, I've started getting into the douay-rheims lately, douay-rheims, simply because it's not a Protestant translation. They use the Vulgate to start with, but they compared it with, the Latin was heavily used. And because of that, the Psalms in any douay-rheims version, say this guy, the Psalms are Septuagint numbering. Now say what you will about the translation. Some people like it, some people don't, and it's a matter of taste only. But that, as far as we Orthodox are concerned, is very good. Now, there's that. Lovely, 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 lovely. Now, the preface alone, oh boy, it's long. Now, here's some of the catalog of the sacred books. So here you go. That's your index. And here's the first page where I encountered some dill, apparently. Dillweed. All right, so listen, I'm not going to show you a whole bunch of woodcuts. Well, maybe I am. Now, we are still in like introductory articles here. We haven't even hit the sacred scriptures yet. Yeah. How about that? How'd you like that on a t-shirt? Scripture illustrations. Yeah, and you'll notice when you have prints like this, and unfortunately okay, so here's a great example of why they put that tissue paper here. See this? That's a transference, folks. You got it? Great. Let's move on. Some more press stuff. We're finally in Genesis. Now, thank God this Bible is huge, because I still need glasses to read the notes here, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, we got more flowers. I'm going to show you some other flowers. There's some more flowers. More flowers. More flowers. There's some cool stuff in the back here, I'm not going to lie. More flowers. Hey, check this out. So, I did a little research, and so the family that name belongs to is an old line of German Catholics, and there's quite the settlement there in Ohio, and there's actually a news article in here that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Just to give you a... Pretty neat, huh? Now let's get back here. Now, you have references after the apocalypse, family portraits. You could stick some pictures in there, right? What happened to the news article? There was a news article in here. I think I lost it. Anyway, it was all about stuff that happened with this family, about how there was a party and stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff they would talk about in the newspapers back then. Anyway, so this is part one. This is we have only just begun with this, because in part two we are going to go over and maybe I should get a smaller version for this, but we're going to go deeper into it. We're going to discuss the binding a bit more. We're going to discuss a few other editions, but look out, folks. If you're in a Goodwill, used bookstore, wherever you might be, chances are you can come upon one of these for as little as $85. Or if you got some real walking around money, you can drop $2,500 on a near pristine edition. I, for one, am looking forward to conditioning the leather, replacing the clasp, and I got to get some tissue paper, and I got to go through all those line prints. Now, I am going to turn the lights up. Well, no, I don't need to turn the lights up. I just want you to take a moment and really soak in the gold embossment on here. The Last Supper, the taking down from the cross, the Magi, the Theotokos, Ecce Homo. Everything here is beautiful. Back in the day, everything was beautiful. Where have we gone, folks? What has happened to us? Oh, and printed the same on the back. Ladies and gentlemen, you are lucky, because you just tuned in to the most uneducated educational program on the internet today. As always, I love doing this, and I'm so glad that you guys are guys, girls, whatever. I'm so glad that we're able to share in this together and take a look, in this case, at a bit of historical beauty and knock the camera around, do all sorts of crazy stuff. Anyway, on behalf of Spooky Cat, her mom, and myself, take her easy. Don't forget to go to church, say your prayers, and remember God. God bless.